So I thought I would share a little bit of a story, I guess, of how I found this property and kind of my whole thought process in general behind it. I uh, I knew for the past few years I've been kind of looking for something a little bit more structured for myself. I guess just trying to figure out what I want to do and where I want to be type thing, and try to find out what's going to make things easier kind of as time goes on. I've kind of always worked in this Nipawin, Hudson Bay country and Carrot River, so I knew I wanted to find something in the Northeast for sure, just because that's where I wanted to be. And since I work around Nipawin a couple times a year, or at least once a year, I would sometimes go for a drive just to see what could click for me potentially, and find out kind of what works. So I would, start thinking of what makes sense. I got to find something that's maybe got primary access to primary highway and population and industrial, things like that. Things you got to just think about as while you're looking for a site like what I'm trying to develop here. Anyways, I was around Nipawin and I had my eye on this location. There's no for sale sign, no for rent or anything like that. I guess I knew I wanted to try to connect with the owners. So I was around here last summer, and I guess with it being summertime, it might be a little bit tougher to try to connect. Just people are on holidays or at the lake, things like that, so on vacation. Anyways, I just knew I wanted to try to connect just to settle my curiosity at the very least. So I remember I was around Nipawin last year, and I was all finished up my projects around here, and I was ready to leave for the fall, more or less across the province for other work of mine. I remember stopping by Milwaukee Interlake Resources next door, and the lady that works there, she knew I was, trying to connect with the owners of this property, and she had mentioned that there were vehicles over here, and I was kind of at that point where it was my last day around here, and I was all packed up, and I just wasn't quite sure how persistent I wanted to try to be with this property. But anyways, I ended up coming over here, and I ended up connecting with the owners, and they're fantastic people, and I'm really glad I had a chance to meet with them before I did leave for outbound work. They actually made the whole process of what I was thinking about fairly easy on me, and the whole process of kind of starting into this yard and getting things figured out. So it's finding this yard has been really good for me so far. It's just kind of given me a little bit of a different thought process of maybe my next 10 or 20 years. But it's something that might not work out the way I think, but I'm going to give it definitely a good shot and see what I can develop. So I'm going to give it a good year for sure. I've got the groundworks here. If it doesn't work out, I'm kind of in a good situation where I'm not overly committed to a big expense exactly. I don't have the building here or anything like that at this point, so it's I just lease the ground. I just lease the groundworks for the time being, and I guess begin my business in Nipawin. It's definitely something I want to try to make at least part of my life easier, and find some a little bit more stability and structure, and be able to go golfing and play hockey and different things like that. it's definitely something where I can maybe not get ahead right away, but I am hoping I can find a way to stay current and maybe remedy different things from different people that have supported me and helped me in the past. From becoming a startup basically and going through different things. You go through economy things and health problems a little bit and different situations as well that when you're starting out, you don't really think about those things as much. You have a little bit more positive thinking that things will be okay from the beginning. So it's been quite the journey for me the last 15 years, from being kind of a mobile only company to having a little bit of a yard in Porcupine Plain where I had my starting point on my own, and then kind of coming full circle the last 8 years to wanting something that makes a little bit more sense and in general. So the things you got to think about would be like the primary highways and industrial and population and different things like that. So it's just, I was, like I said, last year I was out just touring around. Even for the past few years, you just investigate different locations and sites just to drive by and see if there's anything that sparks any kind of interest or different perspective. So I guess what I'm trying to say, it's been a really interesting 15-year journey so far to this point, and I don't know if this yard is going to be the answer exactly, but it's kind of what I've been searching for quite some time here. You take your past experiences and knowledge and kind of work off that, and maybe try to find something better, like kind of a stepping stone type thing. For my time around Porcupine, which I still work around there, and I still have a yard there, and I'm actually looking to develop one more site in the Northeast, just to make the whole process of what I'm trying to do maybe a little bit easier, not only for the public, but for myself as well. I guess having these locations kind of spread out in the Northeast, I guess it limits some of the distance at the very least between projects and different things. The Northeast is such a big area. Maybe not a whole lot of population exactly. Between Hudson Bay to Nipawin and Tisdale. This whole area, it's a pretty big area, and having these different locations should only benefit me in the future. I'm hoping, at least. So having the one in Nipawin now as maybe my main location, and having Porcupine as a substation yard, and I've got one more I'm looking to open up in the Northeast, potentially in 2025. So I do know so far Nipawin's making more sense as a main location for me. It just checks off a lot more boxes for what I'm looking for potentially long term. So I've got, like I've mentioned, I've got the groundworks to start. So my expenses are low, at least for the first year starting up. I'm not invested in the building here or anything else. So it's nice being able to start where I guess it's not as scary type thing. So if it doesn't work out in a year or two, I clean up and I can cycle myself back out again. So I'm going to definitely give it a good go up in Nipawin. I think for the Northeast, the things that I'm trying to do and develop, I think they can definitely benefit myself for sure, and potentially the public for certain things and other businesses. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys, and it's definitely been interesting. Like I said, last year I was down to my last few hours of being around here and couldn't really connect with anybody, and was trying to find out what was going to work. I was done my projects around for the year, and I was sort of giving up the idea of looking for a site here in Nipawin, because like I said, and like this property here, there was no for sale sign or no for rent or anything. So I guess you just don't know. Sometimes you just don't know until you just go through the motion. Actually, I think I said that on other videos as well. You kind of just, for myself anyways, I just kind of go with my gut and in a way just see what happens. But I guess I do put some thought into different things, and the more you grow and the more you know type thing. So like I said, being on the south side of Nipawin is definitely an asset. I actually never even looked for a property on the north side or the east or west, just because it never made any sense to me realistically. I looked south of Nipawin and kind of the Carrot River area, but the only spot that really clicked for me that I was really interested in is the one I'm currently situated on. So I think I mentioned that in another video, as I'm a pretty big believer to a point that things happen for a reason, and they happen how they're supposed to happen. In certain ways, it's not my only belief, but I do believe that to an extent. So being on the south side of Nipawin, I've got the Tisdale on this side that connects with Nipawin as a main artery type thing, and being on a 12-month primary, access to a 12-month primary highway, and having the disposal site on this side not far from my location is another big plus for me. Other benefits include the industrial is all on this side, the Co-op card lock for me, and different things like that. So I've got Milwaukee next door, so that's always nice to have. So nice to have nice and close to my business for tools and supplies, different things like that. I do know that at least settles my curiosity, I guess, for the next while, at least having this site where I'm pretty content with the location and being on the service road. I'm not directly near traffic either, so I've got access to the primary highway, but it is nice having sort of my own service road for the most part. Everything's so far working out really great. So like I mentioned before, this whole yard site idea of mine in Nipawin, it's something I'm potentially at least wanting to get current with different things, get into a better standing at the very least, I guess, and have a chance to remedy different things over the years that people have helped me with or supported me and different things like that. So just because I'm starting out kind of new in Nipawin, kind of a new beginning for myself. I definitely don't forget those that have always been there for me and helped me and supported me, and that goes for businesses and like paying for material and different things like that. It's definitely not always easy to try to stay current. There's a lot of things that I can control myself being in business, but there's a lot of variables that I can't control, and that's where things become a little bit more painful, I guess, for me. And for other businesses as well. Sometimes you just can't control certain things, and you just have to get through them and try to remedy what you can. So anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna try to keep these videos just a little bit shorter. I do like kind of my path here. I still get to be a mobile outfit and take on a lot of projects yet, and I get to decide what projects I want to take on, especially going through a lot of them already, and the whole learning process and the curveballs and learning how to plan for these projects and bid on them and budget for them, and just the whole, and the time of year to do them. I felt I've definitely put myself through the ringer for the last 10 years or 15 for sure. I guess it's been, you get all these projects that I'm on, they're all, in a way, they're all similar, but they're all different, and they all take different machines and different tools and different thought process, and it's so you learn how to utilize other companies and machines, and be able to rent and lease machines and try to get you through projects best you can. And so I've definitely been fortunate enough that I've gone through a lot of the different styles of projects surrounding kind of what I do for a business. So I guess we're just gonna see what happens in the next year. So anybody that wants to pop by for a visit, come on by and come have a cup of coffee, or I'll take you for a tour and show you what I'm doing. At the very least, maybe educate those that are looking to learn a bit more of the process and different things of what I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm gonna keep this video under 20 minutes and let you guys go for now. So be sure to watch for some more content. I'm looking to do a little bit more here and there. I'm gonna not overload my Facebook page by any means, but I think if I come across different methods and processes and things I find interesting in different projects, I'll maybe try to get more into this video logging and see what I can post online for you guys that you might find interesting. So, all right, bye for now.